This is Susan Wilbanks with blendedinsight.com. I am a holistic and integrative healing arts practitioner, an intuitive, and an energy healer. In this podcast, I share tips, tools, and suggestions that have helped me along my path in hopes of inspiring and helping you along yours. Let's get started with today's podcast topic. Hello, bright soul. Thank you so much for joining me on another podcast. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you showing up and lending your beautiful light and your gorgeous energy to this community and this platform. And I wanted to talk a little bit about letting the universe support you. And this can come in a variety of ways. Oftentimes, those of us who are givers, we give so much because our heart is so overflowing. We're so generous, we're so gracious that we often forget to receive. You can only exhale for so long before you need to inhale. There needs to be a balance of give and receive. And the more that we have, the more we can give. So in order to keep yourself replenished, you also need to receive and you also need support. And a lot of times we are the person that everyone comes to for advice, support, energy, to be uplifted. And when we ourselves need support, it's like everyone scatters, not because they don't want to help, but because they don't know how to help, because we are that pillar for the people in our lives. And so a lot of times you might be the brightest light in the room, but in order to be a support place, person, system, whatever you want to call it, you also need to be supported. And when physical people that are in your everyday awareness or reality aren't able to do that, it's usually because you need to lean on a higher support system that's always there for us. And how do you really do that? I had to learn how to do this over the years because even when I'm down, and I've had even recent times where I'm feeling down, I'm feeling tired, I'm feeling drained, and people that know me will still pull on me. And then they're not really aware, or they're not consciously able to say, now's not the time to unload and ask for healing and ask for advice. They just do it anyway. And I had to get really good at just saying, I can't. I'm exhausted and I need to take care of myself, like setting those boundaries until I myself am replenished. And I replenish when I am in solitude and I am in meditation and I am doing practices like breathing practices, meditation practices that pull down guidance and support. And then asking for support and guidance, not from other people unless I'm guided to, but from the collective, from the soul, from God. And being very grateful for the ability to serve and to be in this body still, and the ability to have knowledge of these practices that support me. The other thing is just being very centered in gratitude and being open to grace. You know, you deserve grace. I don't care what you've done. I don't care what you've been through. We are always trying to get better and be a better version of ourselves. And I'm not saying that we don't have consequences of our actions, because we do. But when you know better and you choose to do better and you're on a path of enlightenment, the past has to be forgiven and melted away. Yes, there will be amends that you need to make. There's consequences you have to live through, but it doesn't mean you're stuck there and that you don't deserve grace and that you don't deserve support, because you absolutely do. You're worthy. You're worthy of that. And if you've had to move through worthiness issues, that's part of your path. I had to move through that. I had to move through self-esteem issues, worthiness issues. You know, I grew up in a very pessimistic environment. I was very broken. I was definitely a broken person. I had zero self-esteem. I partnered with people who showed me more reasons to have zero self-esteem. I had to really carry myself through, and then get around and seek out mentors and information and techniques to heal myself in a way that no one in my family or my family of origin or even my sphere of influence had. I had to forge that and also deal with all of the ugliness around stepping out of the tribe and the tribal shaming and how that's weird and that's not going to work and she's out there and she's the black sheep. I dealt with all that. But look at me now. Now it's like those very people that were shaming me come to me and say, something that you're doing seems to be working. Like, let me learn more about that. But it's not typically in the beginning that people are open to that. It's after you've already walked a path of success and they see a change in you that then they're open. And that's why it's important. Don't tell people what you're doing. Don't give them the opportunity to knock you down when you're trying something new, because people can only support you from their sphere of influence and consciousness. So if they don't have the consciousness that you have, they're not going to understand what you're doing. So you move in silence. And then after the fruits are already bearing, you've done all the root work, and now there it is, the tree's bearing fruit. That's when they ask, and you might be open to share. But in the meantime, when you don't have the physical people, it's the universal support. So it's going to come to you in a way that's unique and personal to you. But I will say for me, it's also allowing. So, there have been times where I'm like, man, I am really down. I feel I keep my circle small anyway. And there are times where I'm missing my dad. I'm missing my brothers. I'm missing my family members. People in this life don't understand or mistreat me. I'm physically tired. My daughter's going through things. I'm trying to lift her up. I'm a one-man show most of the time in many realms of my life. And that can get really lonely. And then if I'm having people pull on me, sending emails or private stuff, wanting energetic support, and I'm not in a place to give it, and I'm feeling exhausted and pulled on, I can also just get really, really down. And it's in those moments where I know I need to go into, I have a mentor friend that we'll call it the cave, but it's going inside yourself in meditation to get that boost and that support from forces that aren't here physically. And you have to be open to receive it. That's the thing. So if they're sending it your way, but you're not receiving it and your hands are closed and your arms are folded, it's not really doing any good. So the way that you receive it is breathing in gratitude, being open to receiving that support, like physically saying, I am open to receive it. And sometimes it's sent through people. Sometimes it's sent through other synchronistic ways. Sometimes it's sent through even strangers. But once you ask for it and you're open and you're in that vibration, that frequency of that supportive energy, being open and receiving it, I'm telling you, it will make the world of a difference. And it's so important, especially with all of the shifting energy that's been going on for so long now. You just never know. I mean, this morning I was up and I was feeling good, and I just had another person turn on me here recently. I was like, completely left field, out of nowhere. We had no disputes. Everything was great. And then boom, just turned on me. And I was thinking, I know it's kind of sad, but I'm kind of used to it now. It still shocks me, but it's happened so much now that it's like, okay. And the day before I had found out some information that really got me thinking about my dad, and I was grieving my dad, and I'm like, oh man, here comes some more grief. I'm really missing him. We're coming on the holiday season, and, I'm just sitting here thinking like, oh, this is tough. And I'm allowing myself to sit and feel the emotions. I don't numb them out anymore. I'm feeling them. So I'm super low. And then here comes my daughter with some stuff that she needs support from, and she's upset and crying. And I myself feel just absolutely numb and exhausted on the inside because I'm also going through heartbreak, and I'm also going through fatigue, and then I had a friend call and went right into all the things that's going wrong in her life. And I thought, okay, so when is this soul contract up? Because I'm ready. I am ready. I don't say that from a place of, I don't want to leave before my time. I want to finish my job here. But that feeling when it's like, how much longer is it going to be like this? Because I am tired. And I am tired because I am the pillar for everyone. And sometimes I need someone to be the pillar for me. And that energy flooded in of, you're the pillar in the physical form, your pillar is in the non-physical form. So let us be there and support you. And had to take a time out. I took a salt bath and I was just moving through my day, and I did a meditation and I felt so much better. I did some breath work, connected with my cat. It's kind of interesting because she'll come and want to love on me, and just she'll get really clingy because she can feel that energy. And I just thought, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. But you have to be open to receiving it, because the knee jerk is to get feeling sorry for yourself. And I'm not saying we don't do that sometimes, but we can't stay there. All emotions are valid, but is it serving you? And feeling like a victim is not going to serve me, or feeling like I'm all alone, or telling myself I'm all alone and I'm going to be all alone and I don't have support. That's not helping the matters. And I get to choose what I tell myself, and you get to choose what you tell yourself. You get to choose whatever conclusions you draw about any given situation. You can make that up for yourself, and you can make it up to support you, or you can make it up to push you further into the ground. It's your choice. So for me, I always choose to spin that narrative in a way that supports me and makes me feel good. So I say, okay, these situations are occurring to push me further into the arms of the divine universe, the support that comes from an energy that is not in this physical body. That energy is more powerful because it doesn't have the density of form. It can move and flow in any which way it chooses. It's more powerful because it's not pinched off into a little tiny form. It's massive. It's a huge collective energy that I am open to receiving. And you can name that whatever you want. God. You can give it an ascended master name. Jesus. Buddha. Whatever you want to call it. That's fine with me. Same light, different lantern. Whatever makes you feel good and what you connect to is all right. So that is all I wanted to offer. And I'm going to go into a healing with you to flood you with beautiful healing energy. So you can uncross your arms and legs and be open to receive. And I will turn the healing on. Okay, and so it is. You can come back into your body. Oh, friends, I hope that helped. I know a lot of it is stuff you already know. These are just reminders, and they're reminders that I give myself. These are the things that are helping me, and that's what I share on this platform. And I want to thank you for staying tuned to the end. Thank you for all you do, for who you are, for all of the energy that you give, for showing up, and for just continuing this journey and allowing me to be a part of it. I really appreciate it. And I want to wish you a beautiful week. Take care. Bye-bye.